Greetings, citizens of Nerdtropolis. Sean Taj here, the mayor of Nerdtropolis, and my guest today is Lindsey Beer, the director of the Paramount Plus film Pet Sematary, Bloodlines.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, Lindsey, it's a pleasure to chat with you today about Pet Sematary, Bloodlines. And first off, congratulations on this directorial debut. It's so awesome.
Thank you so much. Your background, by the way, is accidentally our film's theme colors. So thank you.
Had to do that. So how does it feel?
Feels amazing. I'm so proud of the movie. It was such a blast to work on and a dream come true. Pet Sematary was my favorite King book growing up. And it's all great.
Yeah, and the world premiere was at Fantastic Fest, which was really cool. I love like the sunflower photo spot that they had over there. I even took a couple of them home.
Oh, good. Yeah, that sunflower scene was one I had to fight hard for because, production wise, it was logistically difficult. But I said, no, this is key. And so I'm glad that it's become such a big part of showcasing the film.
Yeah, when did you become a Stephen King fan? And like, what inspired you to take on this project other than obviously loving King and loving the book?
I became a Stephen King fan around age 9 via Pet Sematary. I did not know what the book was about, but I saw it in the library. I read it in a night. I became obsessed with the book and all things Stephen King from there. But in terms of getting involved with the project, I had come to LA wanting to write direct. I found that I really had to kind of pay my dues to get people to trust me to do that. And I was at the point where I had reached enough goodwill that I had people really wanting to back me to direct. And a couple of those people were Mark and Lorenzo, the producers of this film. And Mark called me and he said, would you ever be interested in Pet Sematary? And I said, are you fucking kidding me? That was my favorite book as a kid. And I said, send me the script. And I read it within an hour. He reminded me actually at the film festival that I sent him a new outline for what the script could be a couple hours later. And we just went from there.
Yeah, I'm not really a horror person, but I do enjoy it at times. But every time I watch a Pet Cemetery movie, it really creeps me out. Just the concept and being an animal lover. Are you an animal lover yourself?
I am. I don't think lover quite covers it. I love animals. I actually lost my dog during the filming of this movie, and he's my bestest friend. And animals are so special and so important in our lives.
Yeah, and this concept of a pet cemetery, bringing your loved ones back, it's such a difficult subject matter. Is that something you would ever do if it ever existed?
I say no, but I probably would. I think that's I think that to me though was the key in crafting the villain story here, and in that you can't think that these people are bad people for what they do. It's complicated, and to say none of us know how we would react if we actually had that power, and that to me is why Pet Sematary is so scary, and also why I think it pushes so many people's buttons, because it does speak to our most basic human nature, our fear of death, our kind of inability to properly weigh consequences for the things that we love and want. It says a lot. It speaks a lot.
Yeah, that's why this movie plays so well. And also, I had to close my eyes a lot of times. I thought the gore and gruesomeness in some of the scenes were really out there, which is great. And this is what we expect from something like this. How'd you ever pull up some of the most gruesome scenes I've ever seen in a horror movie?
Oh, why, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. We had really, really skilled special effects and prosthetics teams, and also like special shout out to the people who helped me with the prosthetics, because a lot of these scenes were daytime scenes, which really poses an additional challenge because you have to make it that much more realistic. You can't hide in dark lighting, right? But to me, the key was making sure that there's enough drama and tension and stuff that isn't gore or kills in between, so that those moments really punch you in the gut when they happen.
Yeah, you did a really good job on that. And what challenges did you face as a first time director on this film?
Well, I mean, our schedule was really intense. We had the same schedule as the 2019 film, and if you've seen that one, it only has a few characters and a couple locations, and we have a lot of characters and a lot of locations. So every day was kind of this crazy challenge. But what I have to give everybody in the film so much credit, whether it's the cast or the crew, for just hustling every day and just being excited by what we were working on, and it just kind of energized and got us through it.
Yeah, that's I'm just thinking about some of the scenes still. They're still haunting my brain. I saw this movie twice, maybe a mistake, but I've enjoyed it both times I've watched it, especially as October is just around the corner. Okay, what can you tell me about the cast? It's so diverse, such great actors and actresses in it. Did anyone really stand out to you?
Oh, everybody. I think everybody did such an amazing job, and I'm so grateful to them. And I know they're so bummed that they can't do publicity and talk about their experiences. But I just thought, the fresh, younger cast brought something unexpected and new to every scene. I thought that the more well-known older cast really brought such gravitas and fun and intense performances, and really everything that I was hoping that they would bring from our first auditions. I thought they nailed.
Yeah, everyone was so good. And there's no secret, you're a fabulous writer. How did you come up with this story? And how difficult is it really kind of, seeing what Stephen King created and kind of moving your way backwards and putting something together for us?
Well, thank you so much for the kind words. It was really a process of rereading and rereading the book and looking to pull on any kind of thread I could in terms of, oh, that's interesting mythology. Oh, that's like an interesting little piece there. And then just trying to answer any questions I had always had. Like, what do I want to know about this world? Also, what do I want to change about the world? There's an aspect of kind of the Native American mythology that, I think these days it was a trope that needed some updating. And so it was important to me to kind of rewrite the mythology of the cursed land and say, no, the story we've heard is, it's a cover up or it's superstitions, but that's not the whole story here. And parcel to that was creating point of view characters who were indigenous, who could kind of breathe new life into the story from their perspective.
Yeah, you've grasped the horror genre pretty well. Do you want to keep doing horror, or you want to jump to another genre when it comes to directing?
Yeah, so I'm directing Sleepy Hollow next for Paramount, and that is so fun, and a similar thing where I get to explore parts of the mythology that's never been brought to screen before, and that research process has been so fun. But I mean, I love horror, I love sci-fi, I love action. I'm a genre girl. I like all the genres, but I'll never abandon horror. I'll certainly widen the number of things the genres of things that I take on. But I love horror. I think it really, you get to explore so much about the human psyche, and that's always delicious to me.
No, I love that. I think you're embracing your nerdy side a little bit. You're becoming one of us here at Nerdtropolis.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and one last thing, you're tied to so many projects as a writer as well. Is there something that, there's so many awesome movies I see that you're tied to. Is there anything that's going to move forward from that list that you're tied to?
We've been on strike for 5 months. So I think everybody's kind of getting their bearings in terms of what comes next. So I don't really have any answers for that right now, but hopefully some of them or all of them do. The thing about movies is the development process is so long, it can take years and years and years. So you just never know.
Yeah, it's a really cool list and a nerdy list too, to be honest. So I'm hoping a couple of those projects move forward. But
That with pride.
but I'm really excited for Sleepy Hollow as well. I'm excited to see what else you do next. But thank you so much for your time and looking forward to what you deliver to us.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Once again, this is Sean Taj, the mayor of Nerdtropolis, and stay tuned for more movie news, reviews, interviews, and trailers.